Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got the Get to Know My Taste tag. Alright, so today we're doing the Get to Know My Taste tag. This originally started with Sam from Thoughts on Tomes and Mari from My Name is Mari Nez, and I'll leave the questions down in the description if you guys want to do this tag. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. Alright, so first up is, how do you rate books? I rate books usually on enjoyment and, like a mix of other things. Anything below a 2-star is an absolutely, I hated it, there's nothing redeemable about it. A 2-star is, it was okay, like the idea behind the story was fine, but like the execution wasn't there. 3-star was like, it was okay, maybe I'll continue it if it's a series. So like 3.5 stars is generally like, I really liked it and I will continue with it, hoping to get the series will get better if it's a series. 4 stars, I really enjoyed it and I loved it and would recommend it. And a 5-star is like, holy crap, this is the best thing I've ever read and I will shout about it from the rooftops. Next up is, how do you approach reviewing books? So it really depends on if I like the book or if I did not like the book. If I did not like the book, I can tell you exactly why and every little bit about it that I hated. For a book that I like, we'll talk about why I liked it, and maybe if there was something I didn't like about it, I'll tell you that in the review. And if it's like a 5-star read and I absolutely loved it, I will just gush about it and that's about it. So my book reviews range from very emotional to here's every single thing I hate about this book. Question 3, what's the book that made you a reader? I think that has to be like a tie between Aragon and The Protector of the Small Series by Tamora Pierce. Just because these books were the ones that made me like the reader that I am today. I love magic and dragons, and there's just something about like a Tamora Pierce book that just grabbed my heart and just would not let go. And like those books and Aragon, I feel like are the ones that really made me the reader that I am today. I think I do have reviews for all of Tamora Pierce's books, and I think I have a review for Aragon, so if you guys are interested, we'll link them up in the corner. Number 4, do you have a genre niche? So I definitely do gravitate more towards urban fantasy or books that have magic that's mixed into an urban setting, but I also do love queer contemporary books, or queer contemporary romance books, and queer books in general. But I also tend to read, I am branching out a bit more. That was one of my goals for the year, across more horror, and definitely I'm trying to like read a little bit more outside my comfort zone. Question 5 is, do you generally prefer character-driven or plot-driven stories? So this one I'm somewhere in the middle. I like a good character narrative, I like a good plot, and if at all possible, I like them to be, equally prevalent in a book. Although, if the characters are really good, and I'm loving them, it doesn't really need to have a whole lot of plot. Number 6 is, what's a book that you love so much that you don't care that others don't like it? I think that one has to go to All for the Game. I love this series so much, and I know there's a huge fandom for it, but like, it's not a book that you see in mainstream media, or like in the mainstream booktube, book talk, bookstagram sphere. Number 7 is, what's a book that you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, your reading tastes don't align? I don't think I have a book that's like this. Yeah, I don't really have anything for this because I don't really care what other people read. And if they don't like my favorite book, that's okay. Question 8 is, what's in your trash pocket? So this is like the book's themes, the kind of stuff that is bad, but you can't help but read it and love it. This one has to go to Omegaverse books. I know that there's a lot of like hate towards Omegaverse fandom and stuff, but like I can't help but love them. They're so good. Question 9 is, do you have any book deal breakers? I don't think I have a whole lot of book deal breakers. It really depends on the book itself, but like I definitely have to be invested in a book. Some things that I definitely know I don't like in books, but they're like not deal breakers, or like rock star or celebrity romance, and like those definitely depend on the book and the writing style of the author and how fame and celebrity are handled within the book. Question 10 is, what is a strong opinion you have about a book released within the last year? Don't think I have any really super strong opinions about books within the last year because I don't really keep up with new releases anymore. There's just so many books released at a time, and it's really hard to keep track of them, especially if you're reading indie authors, which I do tend to gravitate more towards indie authors recently. I'd probably say that it's I wish there was more editing done in books. Oh, also the use of AI covers. I hate that. Definitely more towards like editing is a big issue within recent books within like the last year or so. Number 11, what do you look for in writing? Again, it just depends on the authors and whether I find the characters compelling and the story compelling. I don't really look for specific things in writing. It's just whether I like the story or not. Question 12 is, how do you decide what to read next? So I generally set up a TBR for myself. Towards the end of every month, I will go through and look at what ebooks I have on my Kindle, which there are a lot, admittedly, and what books I have on my physical TBR, and what books I have in my graphic novel or manga pile. And every month I try to figure out what sounds good or what will be like a really good reading order for certain books. Pull one book off that I'm really interested in for reading the next month. And then I will build a TBR around that particular book, whether it's a manga or graphic novel or physical book or ebooks. And generally I have 2 to 3 ebooks, 2 physical books, and 2 graphic novel or manga every month. So I try to build a TBR that feels like a good mix of things so I don't get bored. So it's a little bit of organized chaos. It's a little bit of mood reading. Just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. Question 13 is, where do you get inspiration for your booktube content? Well, behind the scenes look for you. I do have a notebook that I keep ideas in, and I have a note on my phone of book ideas and filming schedules and when certain things need to be filmed. Usually it's just whatever pops in my head. I'm like, oh, I can create a book list from that, or, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And I will just start filling out little book recommendations of, you know, what book I would recommend if you liked a certain other book, or, you know, this, that, and the other thing. So question 14 is, if you can make a book go viral right this minute, what would it be? So for me, that would be a Fairy Bones and Gold. This is an urban fantasy, kind of just sucked me in from the very beginning. It's following a mage who works for the magical equivalent of like the FBI. And he is sent to New York to help investigate a series of ritualistic murders. There are werewolves and vampires and the gods of every different pantheon trying to interfere with this specific case. And like, there's a romantic subplot, there's action, adventure, every type of character interaction that you love in like fanfic is in this book, and I love it to pieces. Also, the author is very good friends with Nora Stankovic, who wrote the All for the Game series, and Nora is actually in the dedication for the book. And if I'm being honest, that just boosted this book for me a little bit, just because I feel like if you liked All for the Game but want something magical, this is the one to go for. So if you really like urban fantasy and like magic within an urban setting and werewolves and vampires and all sorts of magical chaos, this is the book series for you. And then the last question, number 15, is, who are some booktubers that have similar reading tastes to you? To tell you the truth, I don't know, because I tend to watch a lot of like the bigger YouTuber creator people, and they all have different reading tastes. So I haven't met somebody that has almost an identical taste to mine, because mine tends to be a little all over the place. That was the Get to Know My Taste tag. If you guys are interested in answering any of these questions, I will leave them down in the description for you. And I'll tag the original creators down below if you guys want to see their videos. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.